Hi girls, Sally here from Bridalicious. Over 80% of people actually fail on diets. You might have heard me say that before. That is, they either don't lose weight or they lose weight, put it all back on, and then often plus some because they've done it unsustainably. Instead of destining yourself to fail by going on a diet, my encouragement is to instead embrace a lifestyle approach to eating. It's amazing that on average we actually make over 200 decisions about food each day, often more if we're dieting. Most of these are automatic and influenced by our environment, our emotions and traditions. So to support you to become a fit wife for life, I want to share with you my 3 top healthy lifestyle principles. My first and favourite principle is that of the principle of begin as you wish to continue. The goal on Bridalicious Bootcamp is to eat an optimal diet, not go on a diet. History shows that dieting fails more than it succeeds. In fact, I actually heard a quote recently that shared that a massive 40%, almost half, of dieters actually end up heavier than when they started the diet. Kind of a bummer when going on a diet generally means you want to lose weight. We're often victimised by society, particularly our modern society, that says eat, drink, be merry, and then tomorrow we can go on a diet. This is crazy, and it's actually really cruel because as women, most of us are pretty intelligent, but we still embrace this weight loss roller coaster ride when we ultimately know how it's going to end most of the time. So why do we do it? Do we forget the ending, or do we think that this time we've inherited an extra dose of self-control or tolerance for pain? Or are we all of a sudden eternal optimists? I think a little from column A, a little from column B. Deep down as women, we all long to be beautiful and to be living as the best version of ourselves. And we work so hard in many areas of our life that we feel maybe we can work hard, strive and deprive ourselves to our perfect body. But this ambition is actually ignoring our basic psychology. Again, you've heard me say it, we're actually motivated by pain and pleasure. No surprises, we tend to avoid pain and we tend to pursue pleasure. Nothing's truer with this equation than with our health. So coming back to my first tip, begin as you wish to continue. Basically this means that whenever you go to start a diet or an exercise program, ask yourself, can I see myself doing this in 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years time? If the honest answer is no, then don't begin in the first place, or at least modify. Otherwise you'll most likely become a statistic as one of those 80% of people who actually fail on diets. Even more so if you're a bride-to-be that's hungry for dramatic wedding weight loss. So again, instead of going on a diet, begin as you wish to continue by making eating choices that you can see yourself sustaining and maintaining for a lifetime, or at least for a significant season of your life. It actually may take a little bit longer to lose weight, but you're much more likely to keep it off, and that's the goal. Another bonus is that you can't be held responsible for false advertising as one of the 1 in 4 brides that actually put on 10 kilos in their first year of marriage. I don't know about you, but if I were to have the shoe on the other foot, I'd be feeling a little bit ripped off if my husband put on 10 kilos in our first year of marriage. One thing my husband Paul and I actually agreed to before we got married was that we wouldn't settle down, but instead we'd settle up. No getting lazy or complacent with our health, no date nights at home with our butts stuffed to the chair or the couch, no financially overcommitting ourselves at the expense of work-life balance or quality time. With particular attention to health and fitness, why should it change once the ring hits the finger? Sharing wisdom from my sister-in-law, she said, exercise like you're single. Hear to that. My second tip is becoming a student to your body. Your body's actually made perfect. Yes, you heard me, perfect. It's not actually made to be fat and unhealthy, but it responds exactly the way that God designed it and based on the way that you treat it. Chew on that for a second, it's pretty powerful. It's just that so often our environment, our emotions and traditions actually dictate the way we eat. So instead of you or society playing boss, instead let your body be the teacher and tell you what types, quantities and timings of food it needs. Say goodbye to mindless hedonistic eating or following the tradition of eating 3 square meals a day even if you're not hungry. I encourage you to become a student to your body for just 1 week and actually see what it has to say. You might be surprised. My third and final healthy lifestyle principle is to add real foods. Yep, that's right, add foods. Most diets are about taking away and about deprivation. Think pain. An amazing thing that happens when you start adding the right foods to your diet is that foods that are unprocessed and closest to their natural state have better nutrient density and are absorbed better by your body. Eating nutrient-rich foods prevents something called cell starvation, which can occur with a diet rich in processed foods. This is actually huge. We often look, feel and perform terribly when we're deficient in important nutrients, typically water, vitamins, minerals, protein and essential fatty acids like omega-3, which are often stripped out during processing. Cell starvation occurs when you eat copious amounts of calories, generally in the form of fats and sugars, yet your cells are left starving due to lack of essential nutrients. This leaves you feeling hungry, again really quickly. A great example is the comparable nutrients in a Big Mac meal when versus the same calorie serving of Nana's berries like these, only it would take 3 of these to add up to the same energy or calories as your Big Mac meal. Any guesses of which of the two contain the most nutrients? Don't think you have to be Einstein to work that out. The berries, of course. Within a few weeks of actually correcting nutrient deficiencies through adding natural foods, you'll feel totally rejuvenated. Actually, because most diets do endorse unprocessed foods, then the transformation can be so dramatic that often people become diet obsessed, as they remember how they felt energetically on the diet, yet not necessarily the pain they felt when depriving themselves and cutting out all the things that they loved. It's about finding the right balance between the two. So I want to challenge you that when considering eating particular foods, switch from asking yourself how many calories does this actually have in it, and instead ask yourself how many nutrients does this have in it? Or maybe, will this nourish my body? Will this food nourish my body? It actually shifts the focus from weight loss to health. And guess what? Often the outcome is exactly the same, if not better. So this week you're continuing the optimal diet, and in doing so you're detoxing your system so that it actually talks to you correctly. And by adding all the right foods rather than taking things away, we're creating a healthy foundation that you can sustain for a season, or better still, a lifetime.